Hey drummers, it's Rob Litton here from drumstheword.com and welcome to this epic free video drum lesson where today I'm going to show you how to play the best parts, the most important parts, the coolest parts of the song Master of Puppets by Metallica, drummed of course by Lars Ulrich. And if you appreciate this lesson, then please share, like and comment in the section below to show your love. As always, I've got the full PDF, well, the section I'm going to be teaching you, 5 pages of all the best beats, fills, stabs in the song. You can download all 5 pages from our website for free. You'll find a link beneath this video. And then while you're over at the website, you might want to consider signing up to become an online member. I'll talk more about this at the end of the lesson, but basically you get over 600 full video song lessons where I teach you a song from start to finish. You get the fully transcribed PDF drum chart, and I've got a load of other Metallica songs up on the website already, so plenty of stuff to get your teeth stuck into. And this song's just over on my Facebook page. It's been a long time coming, so if you want to make your own song suggestions, then please go over there to do so. You'll find a link to my Facebook page beneath this video. So let's start off with the first section I've written at 17 seconds. Basically, you've got a lot of band stabs at the beginning of the song where you're following the guitar. If you know the song, then you don't have to have me have it written out in front of you. You just know the stabs. But starting at 17 seconds, we get some cool stuff going on. So the first bar is just a choked crash cymbal on beat 1. 1, that's signified by the upward arrow. That's a choked cymbal, so just come up and grab it with your other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. The tempo is 212 BPM. We're really fast to start off with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 in that second bar. 1, 2, 3. You can use 2 different crashes if you want. And then we start to get this build up on the snare drum. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then that next bar we get just a single beat's worth of 16th notes. 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. And it goes into a choke crash cymbal at the end of that line. So the whole line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. On it goes, and I'll play all this stuff up to speed for you in a moment. The second line, we get 2 bars of rest, then we get this other distinctive stab section in the song where he plays this rhythm, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and all the 4 of those cymbals are choked. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest of that bar's rested. 2 more bars of rest, then the same rhythm again, 1 and 2 and 3 and. But the last crash cymbal, it doesn't matter if you miss this out, but Lars doesn't choke it, so we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. That's beat 1 there. We're going to go into the next line. We'll be coming with our first sort of drum beat. And like I said, the tempo's going by really fast. So we're playing the open hi-hat on quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and steady on beats 2 and 4. So I'm not going to spend too much time explaining these bars. They're pretty simple, it's just fast. So let me just play the first 3 bars for you slowly. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And at the end of that bar. And then the 4th bar, we get a little bit of double bass drum action. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And so 2 16th notes played on the double bass drum. 1 and 2, 3 and a 4. That's better. I played it as like 30-second notes there. 1 and 2, 3 and a 4. We're just basically playing 2 bass drum notes leading into that snare and crash on beat 4. So that line, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and a 4. Next line, it continues. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Second bar though. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Come down to the snare drum to play 3 and 4 and. Next bar. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then back to our band stabs. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. Where it continues with the next section. So before we go on, let me now play for you all 4 lines of that up to speed without the microphone so you can hear just the drums. Here we go. So then 52 seconds we get like the verse section, and Lars does play some different drum beats during the verses and then the choruses and the bridges. They're all slightly different, so I've included these 2 lines because it gives you an idea of what he's playing in the verses, and of course we also get these weird band stabs at the end which we'll get onto in a second. First 3 bars though, standard stuff. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then we get this bar of 3, 4. This is how I've decided to notate it on the chart, although I know that's not exactly what it is if you were to precisely notate it. But there are two reasons for that. One, I didn't want to make this way too complicated than it really should be. And two, I know for a fact that Lars isn't counting a group of 11 16th notes. What I mean by that is, instead of having a bar of 3 beats evenly spaced into 4 16th notes, if you want to technically write this correctly, in the feel it as close to it as it actually is as possible, you'd have to count 2 groups of 4 16ths, and then the third beat of 16th notes has just got 3 of them in it. So you get 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1. No, yeah, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 1 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 1 E and a. I know for a fact the whole band isn't really feeling that. It's or counting that. It's a feel thing they're doing. Excuse me. I'm so emotional about it. It's a feel thing that they're doing where we get this sort of drag effect. And the closest I can get to showing you this is showing you 2 variations. One I've written here, which is playing the snare and crash on the and of 1 and 2 and then the second crash comes down on beat 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. So it's a bar of 3 4, 3 beats in the bar, all 3 beats have 4 16th notes in it, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. But if I speed this up, you'll hear, hopefully, that it doesn't sound quite like the recording. It's a little bit too even. The other way you can feel it, and this is not what I've written, is playing it on the 2 ands, the and of 1 and the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Which also doesn't sound quite right because it's not what they're technically playing. If you want to get it correct, then you've got to sort of play in between the and of 2 and beat 3, technically on the of beat 2. So we get this, what I like to feel is like a drag effect just before beat 3. 1 and 2. It's hard to play it slowly. I've got it sort of ingrained in my memory from listening to it. Let me just play it around a few times and hopefully you'll sort of hear the difference. That's, yeah, 1 and I'm sort of exaggerating my body movement there, sort of you can feel like it's like a little hesitation and then a push effect. Very hard to explain. It's just really a lot easier if you sort of listen to the song lots of times and hopefully you'll get it from a feel thing. No, that was it. That was it. Very, very subtle, very, very difficult to notate precisely. Again, I didn't want to make it too complicated. It's only two snare and crash cymbal notes. If you know the song really well, then you can hopefully get as close to how Lars and the rest of the band play it. But if you want to just play it simply, then you could think of it as the and of 1 and then on beat 3 is the second one. So then we go on to the second line and we get more of the same. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Second bar though we get this drum fill. 1 and 2 and I've written it as that tom, but I'm going to play that tom. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Then another bar of 1, 2, 3 and 4 and then 1 and 2 and. So we get the 2 lines. Hopefully that's sort of as close to how Lars plays it as possible. Let me now just play it without the microphone on so you can hear both those lines up to speed. Here we go. So at 1 minute 24, we probably get the most technical part of the song, where we've got some super fast drum fills. I've got the entire section written out for you. I suppose you could hear this as the chorus. The second time the chorus is played, it's exactly the same. So I've got a feeling that they would have got one take of it in the recording and then they duplicated it for the, or duplicated Lars's drum part, cut and pasted it for the second part. I might be wrong on that. Lars might have just nailed it exactly the same twice, but there are a few little variations in it which pop out in the second version, the second chorus, and it makes me think it's probably going to be a cut and paste job. But the point is, first two choruses are exactly the same as what I've written here. So I've included the bit before it because we've got those offbeat stabs in the bar of 3/4, which I won't go over again. But we get 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, and then we get this snare drum fill. The one thing I didn't mention in the previous example is wherever you play that second stab, as I've written on the beat of 3, you're playing exactly a quarter note after that last stab to beat 1. So you're not counting an odd number of 16th notes after that last stab, then beat 1. You've got to feel the quarter note going by, and once you've played that second stab, the da, 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 hopefully you can feel the next quarter note still, and that's where 1 is, exactly a quarter note after that second stab. So we get that bar of 3/4, then we get this bar of just 4/4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, very simple. Then we go into this half-time effect, where we're going to move the double bass drum pedal, and he plays 1, 2 and a 3 and 4. 1, 2 and a 3 and 4. Snare and crash on beats 3 and 4. Second bar is the same without the crash cymbals. 1, 2 and a 3 and 4. Then the crash cymbals. 1, 2 and a 3 and 4. Then we get just simply 16th notes around the drums. Now, I thought about trying to write this for 3 drums, like most drummers only have 3 toms. But it's one of those songs which you really need the extra toms to make it sound like Lars is playing. If you haven't got 4 toms, then you're just going to have to do a little bit of simplification where perhaps you play more notes on one drum than another. That can be up to you. The point is we're going down the toms for this. I've got 4 toms. This is what Lars does. He's playing 4 16th notes, 4, 4, 4. And we go into beat 1 with that last note there on 4E and a 1. Beat 1 there, the next line is on the lowest tom. And hit your sticks like that to make yourself feel like a right prat. But it is hard, you need to be warmed up for this. That's sort of the tempo we're going by with. So we get 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. We then go into the next line where Lars plays this. 1, 2 and, sorry, missed it. 1 and 2 and. By the way, I also adjusted my drums recently. I raised them all up because I'm quite a tall chap. I wanted to make sure that I'm not hitting my legs anymore. Just basically wanted to make the electric kit a little bit more comfortable for me in the long run. But it also means that occasionally I'm missing cymbals, I'm missing toms, I'm clicking sticks. So that's kind of my excuse. These drums have all come up and I am miss-hitting occasionally. So great excuse for mistakes here. So we get that next line. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Then we go back to what we did in the line above. Next bar with the crashes. And then we get this drum fill. 1E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and. 4, 2, 2, 2. 8th notes, 16th notes. And again, like the previous line, we play beat 1 on the lowest tom of the next line. But this time Lars plays this. 1, 2 and a 3 and 4. It's not 1, 2 and, it's 1, 2 and a 3. Throws that little double bass drum lick there on the and of 2 into 2 crash cymbals. Then next 2 bars, same as line above. The last bar of that line, same drum fill, 4, 4, 4, 4. Next, the last line we get 1, 2 and 3, 4. Same for the next 2 bars as the line above. Then we get this. 1E and a 2 and 3E and a 4. But of course up to speed it'll be group of 5, but you really think 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we get the master, crash and choke, crash and choke. So that's the whole section there. Now comes the fun part, me playing up to speed for you. So I'm going to play all 5 lines. Here we go. So at 1 minute 48, I think we now get the chorus. I think I said this previous session was the chorus. You can probably feel it as more of a bridge. This is now probably the chorus in my memory, if I can hear the lyrics in my head correctly. And I just wanted to show you these 2 lines, well, 4 lines, because they give you what what's being played here with the crash cymbals, which are going along with the stabs of the rest of the band. So first bar, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then we get 2 crash cymbals on the next bar. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 ands. 1, 2, 3, 4 ands. Then we get 1 and 2, 3 and 4 ands. And then this use of odd time signature again, not very odd, it's only a bar of 2, 4, but it's just 2 beats long. So we get 1 and a 2 and 1 into the next line. So just be aware that that last bar is half a length. So that first line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Next line, we get 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2. That third bar, we then get 3 and 4 ands. So coming down to the snare drum like we had previously off the hi-hat. 3 and 4 ands. Still a bar of 2, 4. So we just continue the snare drum for 2 more beats. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 into the next page, next line, where we get first 2 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and bar of 2 there, 1 and 2. Then we go back into a bar of 4. So that line's slightly different to the previous 2 lines. We get 2 bars of 4, 1 bar of 2. This is how I've chosen to notate it. You can think of it as an extra bar of 6, 4, the 4 and 2 added together. I notated it this way, counted it this way, because it sort of goes with the melody. You're hearing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I was hearing, so that's how I've decided to notate it. Last bar of that line, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Then the old 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let me play for you all 4 lines up to speed. So at 2 minute 10 we got another section. I can't remember which part this is. It might be a guitar solo or a bridge. But we got this new section of beats to show you. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2 and 3 and 4, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, then 1 and 2, 3 and the 4, that old lick again at the end, 3 and 4. By the way, you could play some of these licks with a single pedal. If you're fast enough, if you haven't got a double bass drum pedal, this isn't so fast that you couldn't play it with 1 foot. It's just a lot cleaner and easier to play it with a double bass drum pedal if you've got that. Next line, 1, 2, 3 and 4 ands. Then this bar, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 ands. The fast little lick there. Then we get 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then 2 bars of this lick. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. That last stab there is just an open crash if you want to play it note for note. But I won't include that because it's got that stab section played twice. But really, you don't have to count it. You've got the song in your head, hopefully, to help you get through those stab sections. Let's hear those 2 lines. So at 3 minute 52, roughly, the tempo halves. I've got notated it as 106 BPM, but I don't believe they're playing to a click, so that the tempo does vary a little bit. Again, you've got the song to listen to, but it's basically half the tempo, and we go into this half-time feel. So we're playing the snare drum on beats 3 predominantly. So the first bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, and we've got this kind of feel. Second bar has this cool little hi-hat lick. 1 and 2 and 3 and snare, open hi-hat with the bass drum on the and of 3. 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Bar 3 has the crash cymbal and snare on beat 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Bar 4 is a weird one with this lick. 1 and 2 and 3. I've written it as a set of 16th note triplets. It's kind of a bit messy on the recording. I can't quite work out what Lars was intending. It's all in time. It's just it's more starting just after beat 3 rather than the and at beat 3. It's one of those things that would be, if you played it, if you tried to notate it exactly, it would be a very, very odd thing. Way too complicated for really what it is. So I've written it as it's a set of triplets, and I'm going to play it as right, right, left. Or you can play it as a rough right, left, left. I like the right, right, left. That's pretty close to what he's playing there. Next line, we get the first 3 bars, same as the line above. Bar 4, though, we get this. 1 and 2 and 3. And the 3's then on its own with a snare drum and 40 ands. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 40 ands. So notice how the hi-hat doesn't play for the and of 3. If you want to play it note for note, then that's what Lars does on the recording. But that ends with 40 ands. Then we're going to go back into normal time, double time. Well, it's not really double time, but it's not half time anymore. We're playing snare drum on beats 2 and 4. Tempo hasn't changed. We're just playing the snare drums on 2 and 4 now, not beat 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. So we get this and 3 started to occur on the bass drum. Snare and crash on beat 4. Same for bar 3. And then bar 4. 1 and 2 ands. Again, if you want to play it note for note, that snare drum on the and of 2 doesn't get played with a crash cymbal. 1 and 2 ands. Then up to 2 highest toms. 3 and 4 and 1. Then on to the next page where it continues, that first line up there. I won't go over the first 2 bars, that we've gone over that before. Bar 3 though, slightly different. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 ands, or 4 ands if you want to be fancy. Then we get 1E and 2E ands, so snare, highest tom. Next highest tom will be play 32nd notes at this tempo. I'm playing 4 notes there in the space of 2 16th notes. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Then right, left, down to 2 lowest toms. So let me play those last 2 bars for you slowly, counting, and I'll play up to speed. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and 2E and... That's the feel you're going for. Let me now play those 4 lines up to speed. So at 4 minutes 48, we get this tom section. He's using the same 2 toms throughout this, and that one line there is basically what gets repeated. And again, I've notated it as groups of 4s and 2s, as you see, because that's the melody I'm hearing. So it's quite simple. I'm going to use these 2 toms. Of course, you could use your 2 lowest toms. I prefer to use these because it's just more comfortable than twisting all the way around. So I'm going to be playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then it continues into the bar of 2, 4, 1 and 2 and. Then we get back to 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then the same with the first bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then a bar of 2, 1 and 2 and 1. And it loops. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's the melody or rhythm that gets repeated. So let me play that one line for you without the mic on. So at 5-minute 11, we get a double bass drum section. I guess you're going to need a double bass drum pedal to play this. You can't really play it with 1 foot, so probably the only section that you really need the double bass drum for. What Lars is doing is he's playing 16th notes on the bass drum, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. His right hand is simply playing 8th notes, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. tempo sort of that tempo. I'll play up to speed properly in a second for you. But what we're going to do is play the backbeat instead of on the snare drum, but on your next highest tom. So if you want to do these two toms, great. I'm going to use these two toms. So we get the crash cymbal, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Beat 4 though is 4 E and a, 4 E and a. I'm hearing the faster tempo. 4 E and a. So I'm playing right, left with the double bass drum at the same time, and then we go into the second bar, 1 E and a 2 E and a. And then beat 3 to 4 is 3 E and a 4 E and a. Nothing on beat 4 apart from the floor tom. We're then going to play a surprise snare and crash on the and a 4. And those two bars get repeated quite a few times. So we get 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and a. It's a bit faster, isn't it? That was awful, and also a little bit too fast. Let me now play for you properly those two bars at the correct tempo. So at 5:30 we come out of that section with this set of 4 bars. We're still doing the same thing with the right hand and the double bass drum, but the first part he plays 2 ands instead of just 2, and same with 4 and as well. So we get 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and. Next bar's the same-ish, 1 E and a 2 and, but then beat 4 is the 3 E and a 4 E and a. That's snare and crash on the and a 4. Next line, bar 1, he's just playing the tom here on the and of each beat. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. And he ends the double bass drum. He doesn't play the last 16th note on the double bass drum. He just plays 4 E and. Then we get this drum fill. Very, very simple. If you actually play this, well, actually no, I was about to say you could play this on 3 toms. You can't really. You seem to play the last, gets the last 2 toms out at the very end of the bar. We're playing 1 E and a 2 E and a. So 8, 4, and then 2. So now we play for you those 4 bars up to speed at the correct tempo, hopefully. So at this point, at 6 minute 33, we're back to the original tempo of the song. And I wanted to include this section because we've pretty much gone over all the parts, apart from the very last part, all the parts that Lars plays and repeats. But this bit was definitely stood out. It's an interesting section here, which can throw you off if you're not sure what's going on. So it starts off with a sort of standard beat, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. We then get and a, 2 quick 16th notes at the end. And it continues on the snare drum into that second bar. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the cool bit is it goes over into the next bar, 1 and 2. So we get that crash there on beat 2, but then we're going to come back to feeling this drum fill as a bar of 4 rather than going over a bar and a bit. So we come back up to the high tom after that crash cymbal on 2, on the and of 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. We're going to play and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now that crash cymbal is on beat 1, and we're going to just simply repeat the last 2 bars exactly the same. So coming back in with this high tom on the and of 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and that crash cymbal was choked. So slowly we get 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Play that again. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And I had to sort of count this out loud under my breath in order to make sure, if I'm not playing on the music, to make sure I get the correct counting, so you'll see that. Here we go. So we're almost there. Last page of the chart, 7:59. We got this outro section, which is really cool, where Lars starts to play the snare drum on beats 1 and 3 of the bar. So we're just moving or leading with the snare drum each bar. Instead of playing on 2 and 4, we're playing the snare drum on beats 1 and 3. The hi-hat's still doing the same, and the bass drum's sort of playing in between in a Lars kind of way, where he's changing it up a little bit. Actually, there is consistency here. I can see bar 3, for example, it's exactly the same every time, apart from some crash cymbals. So anyway, first bar we're playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 ands, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 ands. Then we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 ands. Then we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 ands. Then we get Old Faithful again, that bar of 3, 4. This time though, it doesn't start with the bass drum and open hi-hats. All 3 of those notes are played with the hi-hat for the first note, but with the snare drum. And then we go to the next line with another crash. So you could play around with the crash cymbals if you wanted to. That would sound cool. Same thing we talked about earlier on, where we get that sort of push and pull effect with that bar of 3, 4. Exactly the same sort of things we talked about earlier on. So then we go on to the next line, where we get first bar 1, 2 and 3 and 4 ands. Next bar is interesting. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1. 3 snare drums in a row. 3, 4, 1. Bar 3, same as the bar above it. Then Old Faithful. Next line, same as the line above. Bar 2 has the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it's extending that idea over an entire bar. Bar 3, same as the bar above, except a crash and snare on beat 3. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So that kind of feel again. And then the next line is the same as the second line with bar 2. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1. And then the last bar is the 1 and 2. But we choke that last crash cymbal. Going into the last line, first bar is rested. Then we get the song ending with that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And the last 2 crash cymbals are open. And that's how the song ends. So let me now play for you all 5 lines up to speed. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you've got any questions about any of that, then feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. Don't forget to download all 5 pages of the PDF for free. Again, the link is beneath this video. And then while you're over at my website, as I said earlier on, you might want to consider signing up to become an online member. You get access online to over 600 full video song lessons, where unlike this lesson, I teach you the song from start to finish. You get the fully transcribed PDF drum chart to go along with each of those lessons. And I've got, I would say off the top of my head, about 3 or 4, maybe 5 Metallica songs up on the website already. So you've got lots of stuff to get your teeth stuck into if you're a Lars Ulrich fan. As a thank you for signing up, I give you access to hundreds more little videos teaching you many, many famous drum beats, fills, and even drum solos. Lars is in there a few times. I give you 3 ebooks I've written over the years containing hundreds more famous drum beats, fills, and video solos. And then over the year of your subscription, you also gain instant online access to all the new material that I upload for my members. And I record every week unless I'm ill or on holiday. So you've got lots of cool stuff to look forward to over the year of your subscription. But if you've got any questions about any of that, then feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. And until our next drum lesson together, toodle pip and happy drumming to you.